Hello, hello. Welcome to Handelabra Live. I am John, aka Migrant P, and we are going to preview some new Spirit Island content today. Move my camera. Oh, I moved the game down. Don't do that. Undo. Move John. Move John. There we go. Perfect. We got new content for Spirit Island coming soon. This is Fractured Days Split the Sky. Let's get the rest of the preamble out of the way, though. So, Handelabra Games, we make digital tabletop games, including Spirit Island. And we are going to be streaming some stuff for you today. What else? What is the usual spiel? Why am I losing that? Handelabra Games believes in civil rights for everyone and in being as inclusive as possible. Anyone working against those goals is not welcome and will not be tolerated. That's the thing that I say. Say hello in the chat. And tell me how excited you are to play this game-breaking, mind-bending spirit. So Fractured Days, we got the Eclipse theme going on, and fractured, shattered glass. This is what the spirit panel looks like. The big artwork is hidden by all the special rules and all of the stuff. I'm actually going to go through the spirit panel here, which I don't always do because this is not a spirit you can just like start playing without understanding it. It has a lot of weird mechanics. So it starts with presence, that's fine. You get 4 minor and major powers face up as your Days That Never Were cards. What is that? You get 6 of each in 1 or 2 players. In a one-board game, you get 1 time. What is that? Hello, Evil Dice Monkey Koki Moat. Yes, it is very tricksy. So time is presence that you store on your panel. You can get it from your tracks. Most of the time, that's what you do. You can get it from the island, which I'm sure there are weird strategies where you do that. But that's not usually what you want to do. When you resolve the power, a lot of your powers will say have a cost to use, time. You have to put that presence back onto your tracks in order to spend that time. And so that's the time mechanic. So often you'll be running out of time, but gaining more time lets you do more stuff. So like there's different ebbs and flows to this spirit, a bit like Ocean in that way, I think. And yes, it has so many growth options that you can scroll it. That is a new thing that you can do now. Just this spirit. The other spirits don't need to scroll, but on the tabletop, it's actually 2 rows. But we decided let's just make it scroll because it only needs to like be a little bit further, right? It's only like 1.5 icons basically. It also is the first spirit to have repeating things, like you do this growth option 3 times, 2 times, weird stuff like that. So the Days That Never Were are a pile of power cards that you have during setup, and you can get cards from that using this option here. So you have like 8 or 12 cards that you know you can get, and so there's a lot of planning ahead potentially. Your innate power, Slip the Flow of Time, lets slow powers get resolved now. Also reclaims from play and play a card again, so like lots of shenanigans happen with that. There's manipulating the invader or event deck with this power, as well as with past returns again. We have Absolute Stasis, which makes a target land cease to exist in the game, which is strange, but it's like a super skip, right? It skips everything, but also you can't like do anything to it. Blur the Arc of Years is a cool power, and Pour Time Sideways is another one that totally messes things up by doing like all the invader actions more or less on a board. So it has a lot of crazy potential. You might look at this spirit and be like, this spirit doesn't do anything, and it kind of doesn't do anything. None of its things say damage. None of them say push or gather. None of them actually say skip. They do effectively skip to some extent. This card here basically doesn't do anything in a solo game besides have elements. But yeah, so there's some strangeness to it, but it's also super flexible. So let's go ahead and start playing. I'm going to not play a single player game because the spirit is definitely better. It shows what it can do more with more spirits. So let's do a 2-spirit game. And it'll go with, I guess it's going to be Heart of the Wildfire. So we're on the board here. Let's do Russia 2 just to make it interesting. Don't want to do anything super, super difficult. But yeah, let's get started with our first preview of Fractured Days. Blur the Arc of Years has push to Han. Oh, that's true. It does say push to Han. But it, like, there's no, like, you know, destroy invaders or anything like that. All right, we are getting our Days That Never Were. The spirit that gives you a headache. Yeah. It can do that. All right, they're going into the jungle. So we're just doing Russia 2. So they have their lost condition, escalation, and first time destroying explorers. But we can have the explorers all grouped up together. That's not going to be dangerous for us. Just to make it reasonable. All right, so here's our big old growth bar. You can see it's much heftier than another spirit's growth bar. So we have a little icon here that's just for this spirit, which is the time icon. So the time icon shows you can also click here like ocean to see how much time. And you can click on it to quickly get to your Days That Never Were. Like, you often want to be looking at this to refer to, like, do I want to be gaining a power card from that or planning later? You can also see it here, just as a kind of neat little thing. You assumed you programmed this one last. Well, we didn't. And it's not just the stuff you see here. It's also like how these cards all interact with everything else. Like we've had to have how the invader cards are managed has to be updated a little bit to handle with all these things, as well as how events and things work. Like there's a lot, and it's working pretty well. You might see a couple bugs here today. We will endeavor to report any bugs we find, but overall it's pretty reasonable. It's into beta testing now, if you're wondering what the status is. So yeah, the time column. Yeah, that's why the spirit board has all the blank space at the bottom. It's because of Days That Never Were. Go there. I guess we could like hide that when you're not in game, like you're looking at it in the library. That might be fine. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, at first I didn't have a quick way to access the Days That Never Were. Like I had to go in here and it was like, no, like while you're playing, you need to be seeing this like often. So it needs to be quick. Right, so let's have a look at what we got. So we have a city building here, a town building there. Maybe add a new card to Days That Never Were hand. I'm not sure what that means. I do, whenever I gain a power card, I add a new one to this, so. Yeah, we got some great powers. Terrifying Nightmares. Dream of the Untouched Land. Love that. Veil of the Night's Hunt. Call to Isolation. So, Winds of Rust. Having a defend power is very good because of this power. So this power says, if no Dahan or invaders are present, remove a blight. If invaders are present, they build, then ravage. If Dahan are present, add Dahan, push it to Dahan, and you can repeat it on the same land. For digital days, get a new power that doesn't do anything but open the days. I mean, yeah, you don't need that. We have a button here, so. And it's here if you want instead too, if you're on this mode. Savage Transformation, yeah, that is handy against Russia. Here. So I like Veil of the Night's Hunt too because it has good elements. Air, we like air and moon and sun. Like those are our elements. It has good elements for that. I like Call to Isolation. Call to Isolation lets us stop a build here. What else? So often you might want to look at these for your first turn to pick something that helps with the first turn. So yeah, I think Call to Isolation or Veil of the Night's Hunt, I mean Hazard Spread also, by spending an energy, can work. Loves the little flags. Yeah. Also, welcome everyone in the chat. Feel free to chat. Another thing that that leads me against this growth option early is because it doesn't add presence. This is the only growth option that actually adds presence. It isn't like the most important, but it does you do need to be adding presence eventually. But I think I am gonna just get ahead of them. We're just gonna probably block that with Absolute Stasis. Yeah, people are suggesting things, but this is here because it's like your hand. It's the same way that your hand is sorted, and that's the point of it. So we could go for the whole we don't have enough energy to go with a major this turn. That's something that you also have to balance. Is the energy of this spirit is often really low. We could gain a bunch of energy and do a Walls of Rock and Thorn there. But yeah, it doesn't even work, right? It doesn't even work. Let's just stop that build. Let's do this. We will get. I like Call to Isolation because it's free, and we often don't have energy. And I'm gonna keep my Sacred Site because I really need to have a Sacred Site. But I'm gonna get presence on the other board, which is really useful for Poor Time Sideways. And we're going to get probably just time. We don't need a lot of energy this turn. We can get up to 2 energy, probably. I think that's probably good. And we'll start going towards 2-card plays. We're just going to do that. Very simple first turn. And over here, this spirit, we know how to play this spirit. We can get a card or we can get energy. This is probably just going to blight. I mean, we could try to blow it up next turn, but I don't think that's really ideal. Oh, we have a town here we can just blow up. That's kind of fun. So let's do this, and we can just play Flame's Fury, or if we get something else free, that's good. We can play it. We got nothing. I think if I'm going to pick something, it's going to be Inflame the Fires for the elements. And do this. You can come in with me here. And are we going to defend that? Seems unlikely, right? If we do this, we can destroy the town, and then they explore less. So it seems like a good start. All right, and here you can go in here. We have 3 time. Lots of time money for next turn. They do go into mountains, which means they don't explore this. Okay. So, what now? So I think we probably want to We don't have to absolute stasis that. We could go for Walls of Rock and Thorn or Winds of Rust to defend it. That actually works really well with hazard spread, right? Like, it's interesting. I could go for this again and get a power to deal with that. And that does work on Mountain again, if I want to reclaim and use it next turn. Sometimes you just like, oh, these powers are great. I'm going to use those powers and not use my other powers. So the things we could do, we could make them like Ravage twice and build twice on this board, for example, or on this board. Often if you have one board that like you have taken care of, you say they can Ravage twice and build twice on that board, and it's no big deal. And if the other board's in trouble, then it doesn't do anything. So those are options. Yeah, honestly, this board is in really good shape because we can stop this build very easily. We have one Ravage. So if we actually board time sideways to make this board go twice, all we have to do is defend this land for 3 or 4. And we could do Winds of Rust. 1, 2, 3. Or we could look for a defend card over here. If I get a defend card from Wildfire, maybe I just do that. Let's see what we get. Because if I don't have to get a card from my card Days That Never Were, I might want to do that. So let's do this. We don't need energy so much. We did not get a defend card. So we just pick a card with our elements. And go here. You can go... Yeah, go in with us. It's fine. And if we are defending, we can... Now I think we're pretty sure we're going to defend. So what we can do is grab Winds of Rust. Or Rock and Thorn. Rock and Thorn, we don't have the range. Well, we could have the range if we move that presence there. I like Rock and Thorn more than Winds of Rust. Just like the effect and that it works. I mean, they're both good. This turn I like that more. Means we can kill the city. Like kill the city, not just downgrade it. And Port Time Sideways, I'm going to want to move the presence from here to here. So that actually means I don't have to move the presence now. I can just move it as part of Port Time Sideways. So that's good. So Rock and Thorn, we're going to forget Call to Isolation. And we're going to... We have enough energy, actually, for it already. We could get up to 6 energy here. I think I want to move a presence here. Because I want to have a sacred site more centralized. And we don't really need to play more than one card. We do need to play 2 cards. So, right. It's like, do we? Yeah, we actually do. Okay, there's our 2 card plays, and we do need more energy because we're going to Port Time Sideways. Okay. Okay, and what are you doing? Just like whatever. Play 2 cards. Threatening Flames. If I play these, does this do anything? Push one explorer, and then I damage it. I could like just bounce it back and forth. And then hit it again with this. That's fine. Warning, no sacred site. That's okay. I will have a sacred site. So we're going to pour time sideways. Here's our first spending time. So we're going to spend 3 time. And normally I haven't played the spirits so much. I just try to even it out a little bit. And it says on the board moved from, you resolve them 1 fewer time. On the board moved to, resolve them 1 more time. So I'm going to move it here. And it puts a little dot in every land, which we're going to get rid of. That's silly. But, so on board E, resolving 1 fewer time. On board F, 1 more time. And then we're going to use this here. And hit the city. We'll be able to kill the city in the Ravage. And 1 damage per 2 fire. Well, let's do this. Oh, this can't go to land with my presence, right? This has to go somewhere else. So there. So if I pushed it here, they would build twice there, which is obviously not what we want. I could actually send this guy like on a trip somewhere, but I think it's fine to like... Oh wait, I don't want to... No, I don't want him to be there. Hang on. Because they are building there, aren't they? Well, it's just Russia 2, so go in there. And the damage, the preview here doesn't take into effect pour time sideways yet, so it doesn't know that they're actually not going to build and Ravage over here. That's something we still have to do. So, whoops. Hey, 1 damage per beast. So on each board after the Ravage step, if no blight was added to the board, add 1 town. So this is going to add actually 2 towns, board F, and none to board E. It should. And this is fine. This is going to send... Oh, right. So it also means that the beasts over here don't deal any damage, but here they deal damage twice. And there's no other beasts, right? So I'm just going to send them back into my land. So that's the second time that it's going off there. And we're going to add Dahan twice on board F. And there is a bug here where it doesn't let me pick 2 different lands. But that's just something we're going to fix. I ran into that the other day, testing. And here it makes you choose, even though it doesn't do anything. That's also going to be fixed. Choose a land with Dahan or adjacent to at least 5. They don't ravage that his turn. We are fine. They're fine to ravage. And that's isolated, so the explorer couldn't get away. Highest numbered land with no invaders. So that's here. It goes twice, and none's on the first one. And explore, again, also twice on here, 0 times on there. So it's a pretty interesting card. Imagine repeating it. That's a thing. A lot of these things, imagine repeating them. And it's not like it's hard to repeat them. You can repeat them with your own effects if you are in the late game. So we're going to destroy and explore or add a wilds. I think destroy explorer is fine. So now we've got no ravage over here. A pretty straightforward ravage over here. That's nice. We could actually even get in and stop that over there if we want to play 3 cards. Or we could, yeah, I think we're gonna not worry too much about the Ravage. We could also get Veil of the Night's Hunt and stop this one, and then let that blight, or use Absolute Stasis. Or we could get a new power card. Different options. We could reclaim for Walls of Rock and Thorn. We decide what you're going to do when Absolute Stasis is impacting one land on a board that gets destroyed by cast down into the Briny Deep. The official verdict says if you want to, you can stop that land from being destroyed. I don't know. That's not exactly my department, so we'll talk to Eric about that. All right, so So I think this is just jump in here and stop this and do damage there, right? This is pretty straightforward on the wildfire side, so let's do that. Get enough energy to play all my cards if I do this. But then I don't actually... I don't actually get enough, or do I? Yeah. Oh, I do. Yeah, I'm short. So I may as well go for the... Yeah, I may as well go for the other thing. Add a blight and stop the build. Okay, and send a couple to Han in here. Leave a couple there, why not? And we get more energy. So we could destroy the town they build. We're gonna get to remove a blight. That's nice. This could add disease like somewhere else if we want. This lets us remove blight from here or here, whereas before, otherwise we have to remove from there, so I like doing this. And we get to do 2 damage here. So they still build, they build a town, we blow it up, and finish them off next turn. Yeah, this spirit is shenanigans, this spirit, for sure. I haven't even touched scrape to surface here in this game. I have done a few shenanigans in some testing games that worked pretty well. So what are we doing? We could also potentially let Wildfire go fast, but I don't think any of that is necessary. It might, like, come up just because it comes up from elements, but... We could also say Jungle comes up again instead of a stage 2 card, which I don't mind. Jungle has a wilds in it. It has 1 bad land, but the rest are fine. We do that with the past returns again. You can also like swap like stage 3 with stage 2, like we avoid the escalation. The escalation right now is escalating into like lands that don't matter unless they do pull wetlands. So that's kind of the potential issue there. I think we go with past returns again. And we let... I think we just let that blight and defend this probably. Or like, yeah, push the explorer. The question is, do we... I think I want to add presence. So I want to gamble on getting a power card, and if it ends up being we miss, then we miss. Maybe we absolute stasis that land instead. That's fine to save our presence. Hey, steam vents. Or haunts and embers, but steam vents, I think. Does it? Twilight fog is great elements, though. Look at those elements. We can probably use that fast, right? If we play it. It gets us almost all the way to this just there. We don't get to retaliate, but like it's super good. We love zero cost powers. Those are our 3 elements. We love moving to haunt around. So we're gonna improve this UX, but right now you just click another card to add it to the Days That Never Were. I'm gonna go with Haunts and Embers, I think. It has good elements for us. And we're gonna add a presence. And I think making a sacred site here is good. I don't see why not. And we can gain time to get up to +2 energy and gain time to get 2 card plays. Is 2 card plays enough? Yes. We could get more card plays by doing plus card plays this turn and do more shenanigans. I don't know how many shenanigans we super need, though. I guess we could do 1 time for the energy and +2 card plays for the shenanigans. Because now we get to play this and this, but also we get to play a sun card. So I guess we could either blur the Arc of Time and remove Blight here, or prevent them from adding this Blight. You don't get the full Fractured Days unless you also manage to hit the threshold for Dream of the Untouched Land. Yeah, because then you can pour time sideways with that board. Well, you know, I have Dream of the Untouched Land in my Days That Never Were. And I have cards that have those elements. So, except water, actually. No water at all. At all? Oh no, Pour Time Sideways has water, so we do have it. So I guess it's whether we want to remove Blight or prevent Blight from being added. And I don't think... This one costs time and this one doesn't. So in the interest, and actually, the interest of not spending a lot of time, I actually don't have a lot because I'm spending 2 here as well as 2 energy. In case you're wondering, this card does say, like, N time, where N is the number of spirits, and energy when you look at it outside of the game, but during the game it tells you exactly the number. So, which is nice. I think that's nice. Okay, so I have fully unlocked this, and you can use this power multiple times, which makes it even more ridiculous. We're gonna do this. And we're going to use this. Do I want to play Absolute Stasis? I mean, I can also play Absolute Stasis. I have enough time. This is 2. Or we could play Flash Fires if I spend the energy for this. If we play Flash Fires, they don't build at all, but I kind of want them to build. You can also like put powers back to your hand and play them again and use them again. So you can do lots of funny things. Let's not repeat that. I want to use this on myself at least once, right? Put Stripe on here. We have to send this friend away. Maybe in here, since we're going to be having jungle come up again. Now I can reclaim a card from my discard. Oh, from my discard. I don't have enough energy to like do all the crazy things that I would want to do. I could have Wildfire do this and get Threatening Flames. You can get like up to like the top level innates and stuff like very easily. You can do all sorts of silly things. I could play Flame's Fury in a way that gives me more energy. If you're playing with Powers Long Forgotten and Spirits have earned, the Spirit benefit lets you be in all the sands. If you're in any of the sands, it lets you reposition into, out of, an absolute stasis sands. I don't know, but I would guess the answer would be no. Based on what this says. It ceases to exist for all purposes. So I would suggest that it doesn't, but I'm also not the game designer, so I'm not the one who decides. You'll want to ask Eric or others about that, and if there's a question about it, we will ask them. Yeah, so I could get this back and play it again to remove another blight. Actually, if I reclaim it, I don't get to play because I need the sun. So maybe we just reclaim something else from our discard. I don't know, that one. I'm not super planning it. And we can use that. Now we can use that here. And we only have 2 time left, so we can use this again, but then we would run out of time, right? Because we had to spend time. So we're gonna use this. Spend all of our time. We can decide where this goes, which is kind of interesting, even though we like put the presents differently earlier. Now I'm out of time. And we can choose, I'm gonna have Wildfire spend the energy. I think we have 0 cost cards we can reclaim and get them, so that automatically picks the jungle because that was the only one. All right, things are happening. On a coastal land on each board. There are no towns coastal, so. And so sometimes you get some funny messages here, like choose a land with disease. Well, there's no lands with disease because that land doesn't exist. So that's a thing. Defend 1 per Dahan. Cool. Explore the jungle. Stage 1 is here. That can also affect the stage for the event, right? Did that? It didn't do it there, but it could affect it for like event cards. Well, past returns again said the discarded card stays face down. The card going on the deck turned face down, which it did. And the discarded card, you don't get to know what that is. That is not allowed to see it, according as that's what this says. So that's what happens. All right. So we also have this innate looking at the top card of either the invader deck or the event deck. Return it and shuffle the deck's top 2 cards. So we could do that if we want here, or look at the event deck. And since we got the next threshold, instead of returning and shuffling, you may put the card you looked at on the bottom of the deck. Which I don't normally want to do on the invader deck because it's like advancing the stage. But I guess once you're in stage 3, that's probably, then you might be like, I really don't want sands, wetlands to come up or whatever. You can push it down. So often I look at the event deck with this, and if the event is fine, I shuffle it in. If it's not fine, then put it on the bottom. Also, you could do the invader deck too and be like, oh, I know that if it's coastal or whatever, then it's that either this turn or next, and it gives you more planning purposes. So here we have... Am I going to be able to destroy that town just by myself next turn? Like, I'm going to be playing 3 free cards. Or 2? 2 free cards. Oh, I have +1 energy. I'm pretty sure I can take care of a town and explorer without destroying the town there. Could you could speed up France's Rebellion. Yeah, you could. You can speed it up. You can't move it, I think. This isn't allowed to... Maybe it is allowed to change specially placed cards. This one is not allowed to play to... There's one of them that says you can't do specially placed cards. Is it? Oh no, it is this one. So you can put it on the bottom of your deck, but you could like randomize the Slave Rebellion a little bit or put it at the bottom. You actually can't put it at the bottom, but yeah, things like that. So you can shuffle them, but you can't move them to the bottom. Yeah, I haven't tried doing that, but that is a thing. Other specially placed cards are Russia's cards here and Brandenburg Prussia's special stage 3 and stuff like that. Well, let's have a look at the event deck. You can't send it to the bottom, you can shuffle it. Yeah, right, send stuff before it, so you can get it to come sooner. So we have Wave of Reconnaissance. Add 1 additional... This is actually going to be Urbanization, right? Because we're definitely in stage 2, unless we swap another card. Replacing half the towns with cities. They don't ravage. Push Dahan away from cities. This event is, like, fine. We have to be aware that this might happen, so we might need to defend more in certain lands, but I think... keep that one around. There's worse things that could happen, right? So 50-50 that Wave of Reconnaissance is happening next turn. So I think I want to add disease here. And I want to destroy a town here because I'm going to be able to take care of that on my own. And I can remove a blight. Probably from this mountain here because the Dahan might remove that on their own. And there's no lands with 2 or more towns. This land will have a potentially, if the event comes the following turn, that land has 2 towns, but there's no other land with 2 towns. So okay, so here we are reclaiming down here. I'm pretty sure we could gain a card, but I don't want to do that. We're very broke. We got a 0-cost card with fire. That's good. Push Blight. That's interesting. We could actually push Blight into here so we could do damage there. I'm fine just taking Treacherous Waterways, though. So, right now our innate's going to do probably 2 damage. And I can make it do 3, or I can scare away one of them, which is enough. So, I mean, it's going to do what it's going to do. I don't know that we need to play Flame's Fury. Maybe we play Inflame the Fires again. Or Animated Rackroot. It's free. It's more free than the other card. Over here, there's no Ravage because we blocked the Explorer. And this is going to be a big situation, but that's one of the reasons why we have Wall of Rock and Thorn. I don't want that this turn. I want it next turn. So I'm thinking that we don't reclaim. We could let them double up on this board because they could double up on either board because they're not building at all. They're not ravaging at all. So it's kind of... Here they're only building one of the times anyways. So I think doubling up on this board and doing 0 on this board is best. But we actually don't have enough time for that. Yeah, it might be just reclaim so we can do other things, I think. We don't have enough time for Poor Time Sideways. I mean, we could have exactly enough time. But that would be the only thing we're doing, I think. And then we wouldn't be able to afford Walls of Rock and Thorn the next turn. So actually, I think we need to do this and get energy so we can play Rock and Thorn next turn. I think that's actually the play. And so we take something cheap that can do something like Veil the Knight's Hunt. And we just play that. Do we just get energy? It costs 4. So we definitely need to do the energy once. Then we could take 2 time. I think taking time is good because we're going to need it for other things. Bank up some energy and just play Veil the Knight's Hunt here. We don't actually need to move our presence anywhere. It's in good spots. We'll just Veil the Knight's Hunt to block this. And then we'll have a defend for that next turn. And maybe we blur the Arc of Years if we can do enough. Okay, smaller turn. You can go in there. All right. We got a different event that has the same effect. Almost the same effect. The land with the most towns. This is actually making this land worse for us. But it actually doesn't have a huge effect. It's actually good that we destroyed this town with that other card because then we'd have 2 cities there. Does anyone here want a 2-spirit game with Fractured Days and Dreams and Nightmares? And we could try. Push up to 2 explorers or 1 town for land with beasts. I kind of don't want this guy to be in the back court, but also there's already 10 damage there. My Walls of Rock and Thorn are not big enough for me to... They're not going to be big enough for me to deal with them anyways, right? So adding another explorer doesn't help. Yeah, I kind of don't want to push anything. Unless we're getting some... We are getting some defend. Is there a sands that we can get guys into? There isn't, right? I think they just stay where they are. Oh, remove one from an inland land. Okay, so they don't build here. Or, I think this is fine because I'm just going to like pop a presence in here next turn. This one, I can remove guys so that I can actually make the defense work next turn. We have Sand Stage 2. So, Russia 2, we can pile guys up in there. Oh, the Stricken event is next. Won't ravage with strife or disease, right? That's the Wave of Reconnaissance event. Yeah, that is actually another point for being able to look at the event deck. Not the order of it, but like the cards in it, so you can remind yourself about the event that was there. Tough pair with Bringer, but yeah, Bringer can get stuff that removes. And like, Fractured Days can destroy stuff and often comes with a bunch of cards that do that, so. So they're back here in with me. But that's not a big deal. I can remove Blight from a land. I think actually that means I should do that here. Because I'm not going to be able to get rid of him when I remove, after I remove the Blight. I'm doing 2 damage when I put Presence down, right? So, you go over there. Yeah, the info economy is very interesting. Alright, so here we have 8 damage now, and that's easy. We could actually blur the Arc of Years. We only have 1 Dahan there, but it might still be worthwhile. We're going to reclaim and put gain 2 time, right? So we want 2 card plays. I could have screwed up and not had enough card plays. I mean, just doing that by itself is enough, though. But with Blur the Arc of Years, we can make another Dahan. So, like, the defend stays, right? So what happens here is we do 2 damage, defend 8. They build a town, then ravage. So they once again have 8. The 1 Dahan hits back, destroys the town. We add Dahan, and then we spend time and do it again. So like, yeah, and then they really ravage. So like, we actually end up being able to kill everything in that land, I'm pretty sure. Once we get to the actual ravage. As long as we make sure to get rid of all the towns because of the Wave of Reconnaissance, I think. And here we want to get presence into there. Probably 3 card plays. We have 3 energy. You can go into here. We're going to have enough damage to move you guys out. Oh yeah. Dahan. They can stay. I guess. Oh, we have 5 energy. I can give... Like, giving energy over here is pretty valuable. What if I give you energy? And... play that. I just, like... I do too much. If I play another plant, like, I do... a ridiculous amount of damage. I only need to do 2. There aren't going to be towns within range 2 of Sacred Site, right? So we could add a wild somewhere. That seems okay. We don't know what this is. So we have, yeah, mountain wetlands. We can put it here and it's like a good chance that it blocks an explorer. All right, let's give you this and let's use Firestorm here. Send you into this fun place. Oh, we got a fear card. That is something that this spirit does not generate fear as well. So unless you like pick cards from your days that never were that generate fear, like it can be very slow going on the fear game. When I play solo with this spirit, I'm often like running out of the invader deck because I'm not generating enough fear. So you have to watch out for that. Like most spirits, they generate some fear. You know, this one does by dealing damage and its powers say fear on it and stuff like that, but this spirit does not do that. I don't think any of the powers say fear. You have to work it out on your own. No bugs, I think, so far. Nothing notable anyway. So we're going to put Walls of Rock and Thorn up here. We actually have 3 damage. This is an issue with Wildfire that shows 2, but there's really 1. I want to that confuses people a lot, and it's a problem. And then yeah, if I eat now it says 3. Now it says 3. Hang on. So this is a separate bug. If you use a damage power right after Flame's Fury, the +1 doesn't get integrated properly. It still deals +1 damage, but you have to choose it later. More of a user experience thing, right? Like it's confusing. It's like it should be dealing more damage and it's not, but actually it does end up dealing damage. So obviously there's something not quite right there. That's not a Doom bug. I've seen that in the current version, but I don't think we've actually had a noticeable report like that, so. And maybe it's just like powers that do multiple things like this, so. All right, so now we're gonna, this makes this even, it doesn't really change anything about this, the +1, but I mostly wanted the energy. So here I want to destroy a town, so they don't, I guess, do I want them to build a city now that I destroyed the first city? Hang on. If I let them build a city the next time, it's gonna be 10 damage, right? That's gonna blight, so that's not actually good. Not actually good. So we're adding a new Dahan. We're gonna leave the Dahan there because we're going to repeat. And now we get to do 4 damage. And the event could change these into cities, which is actually fine. I think. I'm pretty sure it's fine. Because we have defend 8. Yeah, it's totally fine. And LOL. Okay. That's the real power of this, is doing that kind of cycle. Removing Blight and making Dahan and stuff is great too, but like being able to like defend and repeat a Ravage and blow up stuff repeatedly is pretty sweet. We're gonna stop this build like we were gonna do before. Alright, so they're building in a couple places, but the ravage is all taken care of. Each land with at least 2 replace half. And push 2 from land with city. Oh yeah, we still have to do that. That means we shouldn't have... Well, there was going to be a city no matter what, right? So it means we still kill this city. We do have to push 2. Let's put them in here. Add strife to a town. The only town on the map. Oh, and that made them not ravage. Come on. Come on. Now they're going into wetlands. Yikes. All right, well, I'm gonna put them in here because it's gonna make... That's a big old land. And the wilds worked for us there. So we can remove another blight. I guess we'll just keep taking the opportunity to remove it from those lands. Disease. Yeah, it's not actually that strong. Seeing for extra days makes you want fragments of yesteryear. Is that from Nature Incarnate? The event can foil plans. Well, it was the fear card that foiled my plan, actually. But yeah, also, I mean, setting the Dahan away. But even if they had Ravage, then that Dahan would have killed that town. We could strife the city or stop the build. It's sort of not... This adds a fear, so I'm going to do that instead. Alright, so we got a couple problem lands, but we have... The Ravage is not a big deal. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's on 2 boards. So we could send an Expeditionary Fire over there. We could also 4 times sideways, so they don't ravage at all. Seven cost major that removes everything in the land and resets to the setup symbols. Oh, yes. That's pretty cool. So I could go for Winds of Rust and Atrophy. Do I have Veil the Night's Hunt. I need a water and an air to go with it. So 4 times sideways, which I then don't need to use, but I could play it for the elements. I could play it for the elements and just defend and have the repeat on this. It downgrades the towns. It is a nice power to have. Can I afford to do that? It costs 3. I need to play 3 cards. I definitely can't play... Oh, if I do this, I can play 3 cards. But I'm short 1 energy. Yeah, these are the kind of maths that you have to do. Oh, wait, I could play Twilight. Twilight. I get it with Twilight, right? I can undo with this, so let's have a look. I'm pretty sure I get it with Twilight. Let's forget... Ooh. What to forget? Walls of Rock and Thorn has done its job. There's no mountains happening. I mean, we might want to get the jungle back. It's a good spot. You know what? It's fine. Let's just forget it and do other things. We need to play 3 cards. I mean, it's possible we get... No, we're not doing enough sun to be able to get the Well, we could, yeah, we could get enough sun if we play 0 costers. We definitely need to play 2 cards. There's probably more than one way to get here where we're going, right? Like, we could just gain energy here because we could play this and that. If we play those 2 cards, then we could play more cards by spending time. But I think just having so much time, we know we have enough energy, so getting so much time is going to help us next turn. And we don't need to move our presence. Presence just stays where it is. So if we wanted, we could like play this. And then, oh yeah, this is nice. We can get jungle back, right? So I should have probably kept that card, huh? So let's forget something else. We're going to use this to play Veil the Night's Hunt. So I just want to keep that major power. Walls of Rock and Thorn. So let's forget Absolute Stasis. It's really strong, but Pour Time Sideways is also super strong. They're all super strong. I feel like we have the game on lockdown without that super lockdown necessary. This is, yeah, we're doing shenanigans. We don't get the Resolve a slow power now, which we could if we played Veil first instead, and then we use our thing to play. Yeah, okay. Sometimes you plan to play a card later for elements, and it's fun. We're going to have the elements for Winds of Rust, right? Because 2 animal. Oh, wait, are we short water? We're short water, aren't we? But we can use it again. No, we don't have enough energy. We can get energy from our friend. We can use this. We can add a strife. Okay. We don't need to repeat it then. We're going to use Veil the Night's Hunt just to, like, move some of these guys, I guess. I don't know. What are you doing? You could go in here and send the Han in there for Veil the Night's Hunt. That would be pretty good. Let's do that. Maybe we get a cool power card as well. Spur on with Words of Fire. Okay. And I could do 3 fire, but I don't think I need it. Because I can just hit this guy with my innate. Click a beast to push it. Maybe he kills that guy. The Han go in here. Okay, how about we do that? So we can repeat. We don't need to repeat Winds of Rust. I don't know why I clicked this. This is actually better than the other cards that I was just like, oh, that makes life easy. But we didn't actually need to repeat Winds of Rust anymore. Maybe we want to take Gold's Allure. Gold's Allure is free. Spiron is pretty silly. We have not announced Promo Pack 2, but as is always our policy, we hope to make all expansion content in the future. Alright, we went Gold's Allure, just to be different. Hey, we got a terror level. Also, we have to spend energy for this. I always forget. Maybe that's why we wanted the 1 energy. Oh, do we need that? We need the 1 energy, don't we, to use that? When you get a card, how can you add a card that you didn't choose to daze? You just click the next card. So that happened earlier. But you don't get to add, like, Wildfire's cards, right? You only get to add when you gain a power card, not other people. So I actually need that energy, right? In order to use past turns again. So we're going back again to not. Oh, but that's the thing. If I don't actually have enough energy because I have to spend an energy to play this, so it doesn't actually do anything. All right, we're just short energy. I mean, we just don't use past turns again. That's also fine. So Veil the Night's Hunt and this. Actually, you know what? We could use Veil the Night's Hunt twice. Wait, no, we have enough damage that you can go in here. And we can slip the flow. We're not actually going to use Winds of Rust and Atrophy. We picked it, and then we're not going to use it. Which means we could, like, go back and pick Terrifying Nightmares or something, I guess, but... That's kind of funny. I guess I want to bring that back. Oh, if I bring it back, I can't play a card. Ooh. Okay. I can't bring back that one of the cards. I mean, if there's blights, is it that bad? And I guess, is it better to play Past Returns or Winds of Rust? It's probably better to play Past Returns, right? Just have them go in the jungle again. Which means we could use Blur the Arc of Years to, like, remove a blight, I guess. Not super exciting. Eh. I think I'd rather, like, stop them building here, right? So if we slip the flow again, I have 6 time. Why did I think I only had 3? Was the number showing wrong, or was I forgetting how much? Oh, it was energy that I don't have enough of, right? That's the problem. So for one time... Oh, right, I can't reuse Twilight's Fog. Maybe I just remove light with that. Maybe that's fine. We could give this over to Wildfire. Before we do this, Wildfire could... do things. Wildfire could give us an energy, which we then hilariously use Winds of Rust. After all, I think we just, like, if that blights, it blights. I'm not concerned about it. Let's just use this right now. Oh, we could get Jungle, Mountain, Sands. I think Jungle, right, is best. Sands is actually fine too. Let's go with Jungle. Jungle's pretty empty except the one spot, and we have Walls of Arkenthorn, so... If I resolve a slow power now, there's no town to blow up. Well, there is a town to blow up, but it... Can I reach it? I can't reach that town. That doesn't do anything. This doesn't do anything. I'd rather use it slow. This, sure, I can use it. I guess if I could remove 2 blight, right? If I play... Yeah, actually... So weird. Okay, so I skip. Or I could... Yeah, Flash Fighters is so expensive to play twice. What do I need for this? Oh, I need 2 fire. No, for this other one, I only need an earth and a plant. I don't have a card that has earth and plant on it. Yeah, so I think... I could do like Treacherous Waterways and stop a build that way. It's not bad. And Flash Fires doesn't really do anything. Let's do this. There's no point to using a slow power now, I think. We'll reclaim. Flame's Fury would have done 1 more damage with Veil of Night's Hunt, huh? Can we still go back for that? That's not that far back. Okay. Skip. That means that actually... I wonder if there's a way for us to... We use Twilight Fog here, we can use Villainous Hunt there. I think we have a way. This is ridiculous. Lance Fury on you. Slip the flow on myself now. To use this somewhere else? Yes, here with Dahan. Send the Dahan in. Reclaim, blur. We don't have to play blur, but we can. It does remove a blight. We veil the Night's Hunt here now because we have +1 damage. We've solved both lands. Amazing. So we didn't solve that land building, but we solved the Ravage. We sort of decided to switch, I guess. Let's use this again. Let's each spend 1 energy. For jungle. Honestly, going for sands. Jungle's fine. Like, this land is all strafed up and it has wild, so we can just defend it. Get Dahan in there. It's gonna be fine. And flash fires can stop this build. You can go in here. We don't have a black hole for that anymore, do we? But we could use Veil of the Night's Hunt there again next turn. Maybe it's better that you go in there, though. I could spend 2 time to Veil of the Night's Hunt there this turn with +1 damage. It seems like a lot of resources. I think we actually have like Winds of Rust. Well, it's not actually enough. There's a lot of explorers in there. 6 and a town is gonna make 14 damage. And we could get rid of 5 of them. Okay. I could do this. I could shuffle this. I think I want to use this slow. I can't really do anything else to change. I guess I could look at the event deck, and if it's horrible, then do something about it. In lands with Dahan, they don't participate in Ravage. The Ravage is not doing anything. We're actually in stage 2. Skip 1 Ravage action. 1 damage per beast. Means I didn't have to hit that guy there. Should have used this first. So this is fine. Let's reclaim Veil and play Veil. Okay. I don't know, I +1 damage. I think that might be because of this. It doesn't, because of how Veil works. It doesn't work. The +1. Yeah, we are planning to make some UI improvements for things like that. Where do we want to blur the arc of ears? Probably just remove it. We could make more Dahan somewhere, but we have 1,000,000 Dahan. I think I can't remove that blight. I can remove a blight here. Sure. And I don't need to spend time. That means this isn't going to work, is it? Oh, it is, because I played an extra plant. So it is going to work. Is actually sacred sites under threat? There are no invaders in our sacred sites for some reason. And we have 6 fire. Oh, there is? Where? Oh, this one guy. Okay. You. Do we have defend per Dahan? No. You can go in there. Hey, we got more fear. 2 fear cards. Do we have Dahan in our lands? Part of the Wildfire does, somehow. Card that says fire and plant and air. It's basically flash fires. Basically flash fires. Does this event also trigger Days That Never Were? I mean, yeah, it says when you gain a power card any other way. I mean, pushing Dahan out of your lands is optional, right? So. Remove 1 Town Explorer from a land with presence. Yeah, if Fractured Days had got a card, then it would get to keep 1. Skip the build. Okay. And we don't have a Ravage next turn. And here comes the jungle again. They love the jungle. And they didn't get to see this jungle. That's interesting. And there was a Wilds here, but of course a bunch of other guys. So there isn't a town for Gold's Allure. Oh well. We only can really use it here. Stopping a build. Is there a town in range? No. These powers are already used. You can push a Dahan. What are the odds that we're defending 18? But they're not even ravaging, right? So, can we get Dahan into a place where they might do something? The answer is no. I guess we can remove Blight from one of our homelands. Ye old homeland. Not our homeland. That's got to stay blighted, right? Yeah, I don't know. We could push this Dahan in here with him. I think that's like, I don't want to take them out of there because that guy's actually a useful spot. Love forcing ravages with blur on this kind of turn. Yeah. Oh, you're not ravaging? You're ravaging! So yeah, we have some builds happening this turn because I skipped last. We actually have a stage 3 coming up. We've only seen 2 stage 2 cards. The other 2 were swapped out. I think it's a reclaim over here. We could just play 2 cards, but we could flash fires that guy if we wanted to. We can, maybe we don't have a lot of energy still. We could take a major in the hopes of playing it next turn. That might be good if we find a fast major. Like Pyroclastic Flow. Destroy all explorers. That works there, right? It destroys the town and all explorers, and that guy's and that seems really good. And let's forget something. So we want air, earth, fire. We might need to keep Gold's Allure. We only need 1 more earth, right? So Treacherous Waterways is good for that. That covers off. We just need... Oh yeah, the air part is hard. We don't have a card. Our cards with air don't have earth. I think we need them too, right? Oh, we could get an extra card play from Fractured Days, maybe. I think it's probably time to get rid of Threatening Flames. It's cheap, but also not doing anything. I mean, Animated Rockroot doesn't require Blight. Could add wilds for us. Maybe it's Asphyxiating Smoke. I don't know. I could actually gather the stuff out of there with Gold's Allure this turn. All right. Gold's Allure takes care of that land. I could... Oh, I don't have... I was like, could I play that this turn? No, not enough energy. So I don't want to spend a lot of energy this turn, but I can spend some. There's just like nothing, there's not a whole lot for me to do. I can add wilds. I can add disease or strife. Yeah, that seems fine. I can do that. Okay. Over here. We could say they double build here and they don't build here. It's not bad. We could also come back and get Veil the Night's Hunt and make them not build, and we don't care about that, and we don't care about that. So maybe we don't spend 3 time for something that's not a big deal. So let's go and play 2 cards. And Veil the Night's Hunt. And add Stripe. And that's it. I think that's fine. We don't need to have a big turn this time. I don't know that I want them in there. What do you mean you're actually having a build? There's not even anywhere we can hit with this because we removed the blight. Yeah. Also, this event that skips the Ravage. Whatever. 1 damage per Dahan. We're not doing any damage here. So you can go in there with you. These guys are going to get killed by pyroclastic flow, but I guess we can like get a fear out of it. Go in there with the blighted land. We can actually do something. Jungle Sands. Welcome. That means this is not solved. But we could strife it. So we can get rid of this guy. I think we gold Allure. And do we want to remove the blight? I guess that's the question. It turns off our stuff. I think I don't want to remove that blight. Like, I want to be able to threatening flames those guys out of there, right? I can add disease here. And that's it. We look at the event deck. You can look at the invader deck. Let's look at the invader deck, just to be different. Sands and mountains. All right. Next turn is sands and mountains or something else. But if it's not sands and mountains, then next turn is sands and mountains. Sands and mountains would be totally fine. Okay, so I don't want to remove blight. Turns out I want to add presence in here. Hiya. Is 4 energy enough? I think so. Go in there with the beast. Maybe the beast gets you. Oh yeah, also I have way more energy than that. So this, and I believe I said I wouldn't be able to get threshold, but I don't actually need the threshold. So it's just like do other things that make sense, right? We can also just like kill these guys. We don't need to use threatening flames. We can give energy over to our friend. Maybe we use... Is there another guy somewhere that I can hit with this that does anything? I guess if I get it on myself, I get to deal more damage. But I don't have to. 1 more damage does kill the town in the Ravage. And this could be used in this mountain, I guess, if they do come here. And it's actually 2 damage if I give myself a +1. Let's see. Maybe. Well, maybe we'll do that. What are you doing? Defending this? It has 6 damage. We don't have any Dahan there. Is there a Dahan moving card here? No. We could try to get one with gain a card. We also need energy, so we have to take the last growth option. I would love there for there to be Dahan there. Can you move Dahan? Also no. I mean, maybe if your card moves Dahan there. Oh, we can use Blur to get Dahan in there. Is there a card that defends? Just wondering if I don't want... I can use Blur to get these to Han or these to Han. We have a lot of small ravages happening. This is not actually ravaging. This is. So this one I want to deal with Blur. Just wondering if I could use Hunts and Embers to get that guy out of there. Is that the best way? That doesn't work. This would work if I don't have the range for that, though. That would work. Can I use that fast? I would need to play enough moon cards and have energy. I don't know if that's... I mean, it might be possible. It would be cool if I could play that and use it fast. Let's see. If we get this and forget something else. It's going to be Veil, I think, because we probably need to reclaim that and play it. We need energy. We need energy. We need energy. I guess we'll take it. We don't need that much energy, so let's do this. I would like to play... And we need range 1. So we want to play Sun and Air and Sun and Air. I don't have another Sun and Air card, right? It's here. So I think that line doesn't work. Now, what could work... If we go back and let me play another card. If I have Flame's Fury, I'm just wondering, so I can't get away with that. We need to play... Oh, okay. Something went wrong with the undo there. This is something we have been working on, but obviously there's an edge case here that's not good. I might have to reload the game. So I might be able to press the main undo button to get it sorted. This is a real bug. This is a dazed bug. I don't think I feel like we're not going to be able to get to do what we want, but... So let's hit this. And press it again. Okay, we're back to there, and I want to use this and not the... get back to having less energy. Okay, I think this is where we want to be. So I need to get to 3 card plays. Question is it going to be enough energy to pull off my turn? And I think the answer is going to be no. Because this costs 4. This costs 3 though, and it's enough. So it has to be that and that. And I was gonna want to play this, right? So this lets us play another card. If we get the +1 energy, we can play this. But we don't get to play this too. We're short on energy to do that. What about you? You could play a card. You could play this and just push that guy out. Okay, that's way easier. So I'm going to use the main undo button here because there's some bugs with the other way. Okay. I don't know if we want Savage Transformation, actually. So mainly we're just going to play Blur to get Dahan into here, and Walls of Rock and Thorn, and whatever else. That's not important. So we need 2 card plays and enough energy. Let's get this time. It's worth 1 energy. And 2 energy, that's enough energy for what we want to do. So let's. Oh, but we also want to let Wildfire play a card, right? Which I need to let him play an air. So let's. Does that work? I'm not sure I did that right. So I think I do need the 3. If I get the 3 card plays, I can't get enough energy, right? For Rock and Thorn. We need to play. I mean, the sun helps. Sun and air. So 1 more air. So we need 1 more energy, but also 1 more card play. I don't know that I think we just can't do it. Yeah, we only end up with 4 energy, right? We don't have a card in here that has the right elements. Oh, free air, right? But we know it's still. That one costs. So yeah, I think we are short. Alternatively, like, they just add a blight here if they ravage. So maybe that's fine. If I undo this, is it going to work? Nope. Something's still wrong there. Energy. We definitely need to do the energy twice. This is what we have learned. Get a power card. Does it super matter? I guess it could be something for Walls of Rock and Thorn. But I don't think so. I guess there's Haunts and Embers could work there too. This works for Rock and Thorn, right? But it doesn't do anything in neighboring lands or anything like that, so... So does this. That's a Strife. It just means we don't do Days That Never Were. That's fine. I was just fixed on using... I mean, no, I want to use Days That Never Were to push the Haunt. That's what I want. That's what I want, but we're just going to let it blight. So... click something else for later. You don't even need to move. Oh, I do need to move presence. Sorry. My brain is breaking. I have to have presence one away from here. Okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna remain short an element. I think I want Flame's Fury. I'm gonna use that here. One extra damage on the city. You go in here. That's sorted out. You can all go in here. And we don't need to spend energy for this. This has to go first. We lose 2 Dahan and add Blight and a disease. Sorry, Russia. But what's the number here? 6. So we can go in there. And I want maximum Dahan in here. Okay, that is acceptable. 2 damage. Right now, we're adding defend 8, right? So we could hit the town, but I think... Is there a safe place for this guy to go? Yeah, they can go in the mountain. Just in case they get like +3 damage per land or something silly. Okay. Remnants of a Spirit's Heart. They are destroying one of my beasts. They're destroying 2 beasts. I don't like that. Are we losing the game? If there's more beasts on the panel than on the island, there's going to be 1 beast on the island. Eee. Defense from spirits is 4 lower. Right now, there's 2 damage there. We don't actually need defend this turn. Aided by Earth. We have 2 Earth. We have to pay 6 more. We could forget that. We could forget Gold's Allure and discard that. Let's do that. I don't usually take this, but this turn it seems pretty obvious. G. We have 1 beast left. Oh, but we're gonna win as soon as the cities get destroyed. 1 out of 1. That was close. If we didn't have that extra beast there, we would lose. Remove 1 from any land. Hey. No build. Where's the blight supposed to happen? Oh, he's ravaging there, huh? Well, he's not now. Each time the Han remove 2 explorers or 1 town. Oh, okay. I don't think I've seen that level 3 hit very often. GG. Oh, there's a city here. I thought we won. Oh, they really built nothing at all? Yeah. Okay. I can do 1 damage, or 2 damage, as it were. We can just put up a tiny defend in some of these lands or whatever. I can remove this blade. There's no one here. You can go over there. All right. We can just place a presence to win the game. So I think we just do that. Any parting words for Fractured Days? We're right on time. 2-hour stream. So now if we wanted, we could get a stage 2 card to replace whatever's coming up. How much time do you need to spend to get the stream to repeat? Well, just wait a couple minutes and then click the button and you can do that. Let's go ahead and do 3 damage. Yeah, the beast, that was super close. That was very dangerous. That's what happened there. No cities on the island. GG Fractured Days. Yeah, definitely a very thinky spirit, and I didn't even do anything super complicated. So, here we are at the end of the game. You can see your Days That Never Were. I actually got a whole bunch of them. I didn't end up getting a bunch of other power cards. I just took from there. They were a good set. We lost our absolute stasis. We got 42 points. Very good. Yeah, so that is Fractured Days, Split the Sky. Your first look here on Handelabra Live. Yeah, get a headache just watching it. Maybe we'll try it solo next time. You might be wondering what else we're working on. We're working on aspects from Jagged Earth. Those are on the way as well. Watch for them to be previewed on stream soon. And more bug fixes and more features as we do. So this has been Handelabra Live. Keep playing Spirit Island and keep watching out for new stuff. We will see you soon. Oh, also, I should note, we're hiring. So check out handelabra.com/jobs if you're interested in making digital tabletop games. There might be a spot for you here. Have a good day. Thanks for tuning in. See you all next time.